Hi! So it's been a while since it was announced that there was going to be a prequel to The Hunger Games, and I really do love The Hunger Games. The books mean so much to me, so I was really excited, but also pretty scared about this upcoming novel because it could mean so much to the universe and to the story. And I've been seeing some videos around, particularly some by the story diver, and instead of writing, I will link them just in case anybody watches this. And I thought they were really interesting. I thought they expressed really good points and opinions and everything, and I got inspired and I wanted to try to do that as well. But I also wanted to challenge myself to do something different, and I thought it would be really fun to redesign a book cover. In this case, the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes was just perfect. It was gonna be a challenge because I didn't really know what the book was gonna be about. I could only suppose. So here is how I did that. I'm gonna explain my thought process, you're gonna see my sketches, and I'm also gonna voice my opinions and fears and maybe even, I don't know, predictions about this upcoming novel. The first step was analyzing the elements of the current cover. For example, it had the same font as the books of the Hunger Games, it had this black and green fighting for attention, it had a very big emphasis on the author, and it had, of course, the tagline that it was part of the Hunger Games universe, as well as the elements of the songbird and the snake, which were obviously stated in the title, and some branches bonding them together. I also took a look at a couple different covers from the original. For example, this one had a stronger outer ring, much more similar to its Hunger Games counterpart. It kept the green and the black but got rid of the gold, and it also kept the branches. And this other one got rid of the green instead and kept the black and the blue, kept, of course, as the previous one, the bird and the snake, though the position changes on this one, and it keeps the sort of untitled element and no branches. Based on this, I proceeded to sketch some thumbnails for the cover. I wanted to incorporate the most amount of elements from the original cover in this, but still trying to do something different. I even tried interchanging the songbird and the snake for their human counterpart in silhouettes because we're not particularly sure how they look like, especially the District 12 girl, and then another one in which I focused more on the title. I chose my two favorites and then analyzed the pros and cons of each of them. The main idea was to create something different but was still hopefully recognizable, and I had two very distinctive options but ended up deciding on the latest one with the added elements to make it more cohesive. And now with my chosen sketch, it's time to state my opinions and fears about this upcoming novel. First, starting with the title. So I saw this really amazing video by the story diver in which she made a full-on analysis of the cover and the title, and I highly recommend it. I'll link it down in the description. But I really agreed with her analysis and how the fact that it was a ballad between the songbird and the snake pretty much symbolizes that Snow and the District 12 tribute, so the snake and the bird, are gonna have to work together somehow. There's gonna be a relationship, there's gonna be cooperation between them. The parallel between the prequel and the original trilogy is really obvious. I never really knew what to expect when it was first announced as the untitled Panem novel. I never really got into those theories about which past vector it was gonna be or anything, so I wasn't disappointed when I read that the main character was gonna be Snow. Because if I'm completely honest, I kind of liked him as a character, not because I thought he was a nice one, but because I thought he was interesting to read about, particularly his agreement with Katniss almost towards the end, in which they agree not to lie to each other. So I think it's gonna be interesting to read about his prior years and maybe, I don't know, his rise to power or what sort of shaped him into the Snow we all know from the original trilogy. I am particularly interested in whether or not Snow is gonna start as a hero and we're gonna see him break in the same way we saw Katniss break throughout the books, because if I'm honest, that's one of the most interesting aspects of the trilogy to me. I was, however, very disappointed to read that he was gonna mentor the District 12 girl. It implies such a strong parallel between him and Katniss, and that is, in my opinion, not really necessary to the story. They don't have to be that connected. He could have easily gotten a tribute from another poor district. This would allow not only to expand the universe, but also break this really intense parallel we're getting. There are a lot more underdogs to choose from. Knowing this, we can revisit the ballad part of the title. And like I said before, and like it was stated in the videos, they're gonna have to work together. We know in which way at least they're gonna work together, that is him, well, Snow, being the mentor of this girl. I really hope they do not fall in love, but I truly wish for the District 12 girl to not have any relationship with Katniss. I feel like the parallel, as it is right now, is already strong enough, even stronger than it has to be. Something else about this that is just really picky of me, I don't want this girl to win. I think it would be great for us to experience the story of a victim, a pure victim, rather than a victor. And I think that her losing is actually a possibility because we're not hearing the story solely from her perspective. With this, it's a good transition into the writing style, which obviously differs from the original. The main difference is that it is narrated in third person this time instead of first. This might mean that we will get District 12's perception of the story as well, and I think it would make sense that both the songbird and the snake told the story this time. I feel like my thoughts have mainly been my fears about this issue, but the truth is, I am excited. I'm really glad we're revisiting the universe. I loved the way Collins wrote the original trilogy and how she manages to convey strong messages in a way that does not feel overly heavy. So I really wonder what she will include in here. I want to be surprised. I want this book to mean as much to me as the original trilogy does. I know it's a hard thing to live up to. I know that's why I've had all these thoughts and fears of what this book could mean. And it's hard because the same thing is not gonna work for everyone, as so many things are subjective. But I am still looking forward to dive into the universe again. I want to support this work that either directly or indirectly supports something that I love. And even if it doesn't live up to my expectations, it will not change what the Hunger Games trilogy means to me. So I am excited. I will definitely read this book, and I'll just have to trust that the author knows what's best for her story, because in the end, it's her story to tell.